Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect, the Bachai of the house of David that's been preordained, predestined to be delivered in these last times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation of Yasha'Allah. So I want to go into current events, or really one current event that's going on in the neck of my woods, right in California. You got this hurricane, okay, which is unprecedented, by the way. You know, we don't get hurricanes out here in the West Coast, all right, especially in Southern California where I'm at, okay. And this thing made its way from Mexico going all the way up to, like, now I believe it's in Riverside, all right. It's passing through Riverside. It's going through like Palmdale, Palm Desert, okay. But it made its way into you're gonna see it in Florida, in LA, all right. But we don't get this type of weather. You know, it's more like East Coast, like Florida, all right. So it says Tropical Storm Hillary, that's the name of the storm, the hurricane, makes landfall in California, bringing powerful wind and rain. All right, and these are unprecedented times. This is how you know we're living in end times, biblical times. All right, because, you know, crazy weather events are happening. All right, it's all being done by Yahweh Shemashah. But you have these fires going on in Maui, which I just learned that they want to build smart cities in that area, and the people, the owners of that land, they didn't want to sell their property. So Esau, more than likely, he definitely used his direct energy weapon. There's actually evidence of laser beams being shot down, you know, in that area. All right, and it's no coincidence now when I think about it that there was laser beams being shot down in that area, but it didn't start no fire. It was just the laser beam, all right, like a light, like coming from a satellite hitting Hawaii. All right, I wonder if that links up together. But either way, you know, you have these fires, earthquakes. Again, this year started off crazy with that that earthquake that happened in 2023, the year of all prophecies come to pass, the hopeful year of all prophecies come to pass, all right? But the year started off with that earthquake in Turkey that deleted 3,500 plus people, okay? So you have all these crazy weather events, you know, big earthquakes, tsunamis, you know, fires happening. Remember the one in Canada, the Quebec, all right, which that was probably from Esau's due as well, which it's all from Yahweh. He controls everything, okay. But Esau's his left hand side, his left sword, all right. You see, and now this hurricane. So I'm gonna play this video, and I'm gonna get some scriptures right after.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Welker in for Kate Snow. As we come on the air tonight, Tropical Storm Hillary is lashing Southern California with tens of millions in its path. This is the damage Hillary has already done. A wall of mud and water ripping through one Mexico town. The historic storm making landfall over Baja California in that country earlier today. But now it's pounding the U.S. Some 26 million people from the Southwest up to Idaho under flood alerts. It's been decades since a storm like this has hit the region.
Yeah, decades.
Officials warn it could be deadly and catastrophic. But breaking right now, an earthquake rocking Southern California. Let's go.
Yeah, and then an earthquake hit. An earthquake followed by. So, man, it was hurricanes and earthquake all today. A 5.2, by the way. That's insane. What was that? Yep, well, 5.2, I believe that's what it says.
Right to Aaron McLaughlin in Cherry Valley, just east of Los Angeles. And Aaron, people felt this earthquake just as the storm hit. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Kristen. According to the USGS, there was a magnitude 5.1 earthquake that struck Ojai, California, to the north of Los Angeles. Now, right there are no reports of significant damage or injuries, but we are monitoring the situation. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Hillary striking to the south.
Yeah, cars being swept away. It's a powerful flood right there. Those cars cost, I mean, not cost, but they weigh tons, all right? And that water is just picking it up and floating it down the street.
Generation deadly storm that's smashing its way from Mexico into California and throughout the Southwest. In Baja, a wall of water turning this street into a river of mud.
God damn.
Hurricane Hillary, once a Category 4, now a tropical storm, impacting California for the first time in 26 years.
We're batting down the hatches.
It's all hands on deck with the California governor declaring a state of emergency. Today, residents and tourists on Catalina Island.
That devil, by the way, which he mentioned how, chipping will come. Microchipping. He did mention that, Governor Newsom. Just wanted to mention that. Okay. Because, hey, that's coming real soon. All these hurricanes and wildfires, all right, these unprecedented catastrophic events that are happening. All right, that's because we're in the end times. You see, let me get some scriptures. We're in the end times, man. All right, we're in the last days. We're at the end of Edom's rulership. Okay? And it's going to get worse. It's gradually going to get worse. We're heading to a time like never before, Jacob's trouble. All right? Which, hey, we're right there. But it's going to fully pop off real soon. But, hey, Esau is systematically set in place in his digital system, which is going to allude to the chip. All right? But all these events, all these catastrophic events, it's going to lead to famine. All right? It's going to lead to famine. It's going to lead to a lot of bad scenarios along the way. All right. You see. Let's get Daniel 12 verse 1. And it says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." But the whole point is, there shall be a time of trouble, such as never since there was before a nation. All right, you see. So let's get 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, verse. Let's see, I'll start verse 1, all right? And it says, "And he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before," and we do that through the scriptures, watching the news. You got to be a watchman. You got to see what's going on around the world. That's how you know how much closer we are to the return of our Lord Yahushua, by seeing the times, seeing this, all these events happening, man. Riots. All right, you just seen what Apostle Tahar just mentioned, how it was like at a Whole Foods, people were kind of going crazy, but a little buck wild, or they weren't having it. I believe in New York City, there was a certain store they couldn't get in unless you had a QR code, which is going to lead to the chips real soon. You see, this digital system that we're in. All right, it's going to advance. All right, it's going to keep. Esau's going to set up more of his digital system, which is already here. All right, it's already here, but more and more he's going to, you can't get into this store unless you have this QR code or something. And then it's going to be this. You can't, come to the store unless you have, this right here, this card or something. But then eventually it's going to lead to the chip. All right, that's what it's going to eventually lead to. Okay. So we're watching the signs, we're seeing, watching the news, matching it with scriptures. All right, big earthquakes, crazy earthquakes happening. Riots, like I said, all these catastrophic events. It's all written in the scriptures. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And he's doing that through his prophecies. All right, he's doing it spiritually. Okay, all these events he said that will happen, it's happening. Okay, it says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes," like I mentioned before. And yeah, people say there's always been earthquakes, but not on this magnitude. That one in Turkey was the craziest one, 3,500 plus dead. And then another one just hit today along with a hurricane. Come on, man, 5.2. This is definitely end time events right here. and upwards of the people in the world. Man, 2020. Do I even have to mention that year? The whole world was rioting. All right, and now you have it died down, but you still have some countries and provinces and cities in those countries are still rioting. For example, France or Paris, all right, Paris. It says, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, we're at the end. And the end is manifest, the end of what? 2 Ezra 6 verse 9. Esau is the end of the world, his kingdom is fallen. It's the end of this place. Alright? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Alright? Yahushua is going to establish his kingdom upon the earth that's going to rule forever. Okay? And he's going to deliver his elect. 2/3 will perish, but they'll come back in the kingdom of heaven. And the nation of Israel will be on top. Okay? Will be on top forever, starting with Yahushua and his elect. And it says, even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works. And you're seeing it. All right, all these events. And it's going to get crazier and more powerful. All right, as we go throughout this year. Okay, all the way, it's going to get so much crazy. So much, catastrophic events are going to come. All the way until Yahushua returns with the host of the holy angels. The nukes be shot off. The elect get delivered. That's gonna be the craziest day ever. All right. And it says, and endings and effects and signs. You see, and these are definitely effects and signs. So let's go back, man. These floods hitting certain parts of California. This hurricane. All right, as well. That's what caused these floods. Okay.
Evacuating, packing ferries for the mainland. So many others in the area terrified of the hours ahead.
I'm afraid people might die.
That fear most acute in the low-lying desert areas. Look at this flooding from Las Vegas today.
Damn,
Palm
Las
Springs
Vegas.
bracing for a year's worth of rain in a single day. Even light rain already a danger in Death Valley.
Look at that, Death Valley, known to be one of the hottest deserts, dry. Okay, and look at that. Come on, man. This is definitely signs from on high. All right. Now it's rivers in Death Valley, which never had that before.
Water already covering roads, with national parks in the storm's path shut down. Even Disneyland closing early ahead of Hillary.
Did you ever think that this would happen? It is August.
no.
And in the mountains east of Los Angeles, evacuation orders. But many choosing to stay, including Brian Maloney.
Why are you staying?
Because we always stay. We wrote every one of them out, even the fires, right to the door, every time.
Around the corner, an ominous sign of the dangers ahead.
This is what officials are worried about. Last year, there was a massive mudslide that sawed that house in half and took out this huge redwood tree. All of this after a thunderstorm, nowhere near what's in the forecast for tonight.
The Poliva family is still deciding what to do.
Right now, we're all standing under the sky, so barely any rain, barely any wind, barely any rain. But it is coming.
And no one knows just how much destruction Tropical Storm Hillary might bring.
Already so much damage there. Aaron is
Reading the comments. Of course, it seemed like Mexico got it bad, but other places, just got rained on hard because, the hurricane was passing through. All right, some places got flooded, as it mentioned, but it was just passing through. Now it went through like Riverside. Like, if you get a map, you can see that. Actually, let me see. Can I find that real quick? Slovakia. Okay, here we go. Right. Actually, is this a good one? Let me see. Maybe you can see the storm. I was looking at it earlier. I was trying to see where the storm was. Okay. Damn, come on, let's go. Let's see, let me get another one. I think I was on this one. Actually, let me go this one right here. it showed me a map now. I'm trying to find it. I was on one website that did show me a map. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, maybe it was this one. Come on, man. Damn, so lucky. I was on it earlier, like I said. I was on it earlier. Bear me for 1 second. Let me just see if I can find it. Okay. Okay, here it is. Finally. Alright, see, oh yeah, now you can see it. See where that image of the hurricane is spinning? And it shows you the direction it's going to go into. Alright, so I think, yeah, okay. Dang, I think it's bugging out. Okay, I think, come on, Jesus. Alright, I think that little line right there shows you where it started. So, you know, went through its way in Baja, California. Alright. Here's some places, you see. Went through parts of San Diego, but some places got it worse than the other. Alright. I went through there. Okay. Then, let's see where it's at. So I went through like Anaheim, which is Orange County. You know, brother's familiar with that area. But then I know it went to Riverside. I saw it earlier. It went parts to like San Bernardino. Alright, like around this area. Which I used to stay in this area right there in Fontana. That place is always windy too, by the way. So, you know, when all this wind came, I was kind of used to it actually. It wasn't really that bad where it hit me. It wasn't, you know, it was raining hard and windy, like really windy. But, you know, Fontana, if you've been there, you know exactly what I mean. It gets like that a lot actually, the wind. But either way, here it is now, going through Sequoia National Park. Okay, what city is this right here? Okay. Targo. Okay, but yeah, it said, where's Vegas at? Well, it looks like Vegas got parts of it too, so. But it shows on the map it's right here, so, you know, Death Valley right there. So yeah, man, these are definitely, let me get out of here, this thing's bugging out. These are definitely unprecedented times, man. It's gonna get worse. You know, it's gonna get worse, man, with these events. All right, it's gonna get worse and worse, man. And this is unprecedented. Again, we never experienced hurricanes. You heard the lady. It hasn't been like this since decades. All right. So, you know, I'm ending it off here, and with that, hey, shalom.